Okay, you are recording.
Hey, hi everyone. So welcome to Demo Day. I am Paula. I work here. I'm a team member here at the Stitch and Dent as well. And I am going to talk about today one of my most favorite things that we have in the shop. I have some of my die-hard students on here, and either they're going to tell you, some of them don't love interchangeable needles. But I love them for multiple reasons. So hopefully I can remember all my reasons today and tell you that. Before I start with interchangeable needles, I want to tell you a couple little housekeeping things. If you have questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions as we go, or you can type your question in the chat. Now, Jenny gets to take care of the chat, and she can know how actually not easy it is. And so you're welcome to do that. Just unmute yourself and then mute yourself back up. That'd be great. Let's see, today is also double points day. So that means that anything that you purchase online or in the shop is you get 2 rewards points. So you want to make sure that you already have a rewards account. So that's very important. If you go to our website, there's like a little button that says Stitches program. You can sign up there. Brenda has been putting the directions in the newsletter for you there, so you can do that. So also, before I start, I want to tell you, I'm going to do a few plugs for some classes I have going on. Michelle Hunter is a fabulous designer, and she has made this series of classes, and it's called the Building Series. The first one is Building Blocks. And I do recommend that you take them in this order, unless that you have, of course, extra, if you're really skilled at some things, this order might not be necessarily important. Building blocks. And here's a sample of one of the blocks. Building blocks is for anyone who wants to increase their knitting skills. You will learn in the course of this class every single increase, decrease. You learn decorative stitches like right twists, left twists. You learn about cables, and you learn about lace knitting. And then we put all of our blocks together at the end, and we make an afghan. So you get an afghan kind of like this. And you can use multiple colors, all kinds of things. Now, this is an ongoing class. You can do this, you can start this class at any time, and it's going to just continue on throughout the year. So wherever you start, you just keep going until you finish your 12th block. The next thing is we have just recently started building in color and building in lace. Now, building in color, you make an afghan, and you learn how to wrangle all kinds of colors at the same time. We make an afghan, but we do it more in strips instead of blocks, and we sew them together, and you learn how to pick up stitches and do the border. Now, we have already started this class, but I do believe you could still catch up. The classes are recorded, and then you can actually, I'll send you the video after class so that you can review the video. If you miss something or you need a little extra help, that's always helpful. And then the last one is building in lace. We make a really beautiful lace shawl. Again, this class has just started. I do believe you could catch up because I can send you the videos of the first couple classes that were recorded, and I would be available to answer any questions to help you get going. But if you want to improve your knitting skills, by far, these are the best classes that we offer for sure. Also, we've been doing this new thing this year. It's called the Gems and Pearls Knitting Club. I recognize a few names on here today that are members of the club. And if I have time, if I don't talk too long, I actually might have someone pop on and share what the benefits of the club are. Now, we will be opening up the club again for entry. And what the club is we just do, we meet every other week via Zoom. So I have people from coast to coast. Literally, I have Maryland and Oregon in the club. So it's really super fun. And you can join coast to coast and join us for our Zoom event, but we just work through projects together. Hopefully I'll quit having to teach so much things, and you'll be able to have time to chit chat and have fun and get to know each other. But we have such a great group of ladies, and we will be opening that soon and be starting our next project. So I just wanted to give you a little idea. I don't have an actual date yet of when that will be open, but we will for sure let you know when that's possible. All right, was that everything on my list? Okay, I think so. So Jenny, if you want to change my view, that'd be great. So interchangeable needles are my most favorite thing ever because I'm a diehard knitter. I love all the different things we have in the shop, but I can crochet a tiny bit. I don't do any needlework stuff. I don't really know how to sew, although I am going to take that bag class coming up and practice my sewing skills because I haven't sewed in like 30 years at least. So I'm going to hopefully be able to do that. And Debbie said she'd help me. So I think I need a little extra help. So we've turned Debbie into a knitter. So I think it's only fair that she gets me sewing a little bit. She's clapping over there. She's excited. So, but since I'm a diehard knitter, my favorite thing in the whole wide world is the interchangeable needles. The reason why is because I bought mine in a kit. And here's one of our kits we have. This one is called The Melodies of Life. So this is really beautiful. When I first saw this kit, I thought, oh my gosh, those colors are really beautiful. So if you like metal needles, this is the kit for you. I prefer to have, I prefer wood needles, but the new carbon needles are extremely popular as well. And we have this great carbon set here. This particular set comes in sizes 2.5 through 10. So what this is you get all of the needles, all the different sizes. So, you know, as you knit and you find that you just need all these different needles for all these different things, you had no idea you needed so many needles for knitting. These kits are a way for you to get all of your needles quickly, all the sizes quickly. It's a really great investment. And since it's double point days, it is the best day to buy a needle set. Another thing we have is these short needles. So these short needles this kit is specifically their shorter tips. So I'll pull this one out here so you can see the difference. The thing I love about the Knitter Pride needles is that they are color coded. So it doesn't matter if this is a short tip or a long tip. This is a size, not sure, probably a 9. I can't read that. It doesn't matter what size it is, but they are color coded, so they're the same size. Now, I have, can you believe it, knit several things having 2 different sizes needles because my first set of double points weren't different colors. And so I had one size on one end and one size on the other end. And I knit multiple things like that. They turned out fine. It didn't matter. But I was like, I really like these because these are, they are great for color coding. Now, there is a little gauge tip. And I know we're not going to talk about gauge because that is no one's favorite topic. If you're a knitter, that is not your favorite topic, especially if you're in my, sorry about that, guys. You should have told me. If you're in my knitting club, we've had lots and lots of gauge discussions. So we are done talking about gauge, but there is this little tiny trick you could do if you're having trouble adjusting gauge. And I didn't think of this. This is a tip I didn't think of at the time when we were working with this. You can work with 2 different needle sizes and see if that it helps improve your gauge situation. What I mean by that is you could put on a 9 and you could put on an 8 at the same time. And that way then you could, the cord is not working for me. That way you can be working with 2 different needle sizes. If you have trouble getting gauge, that might be a really good tip for you to help with that gauge, because as you work with 2 different needle sizes, it is going to adjust your gauge a little bit. So the nice thing about these interchangeable needles is that these sets come with, like this set here, it comes with multiple cords. Look at all these cords. This set is really nice because it has all these beautiful colors. This one comes with earrings and all these little cute little tapestry needles, all kinds of things. But the cords, we carry mostly the color-coded cords so that you can tell by a glance. They do come in just all black, but mostly we found our customers like the color-coded cords so that you can tell easily that they are what sizes they are based on cord, okay? So these, we have different sizes come in different colors here. So the nice thing I love about these needles is that I can have multiple projects going at one time, and I can switch my needles back and forth if necessary. Now, I will not lie, I have probably 10 sets of size 7 tips. None of them are in my bag at the moment. So 7 seems to be my very popular size. This is the thing that people don't know about interchangeable needles. And part of it is because there's no instructions that come with these. So people don't know. But what the biggest tip I can give you is that it has this little key. And it has this little hole right here, and it comes with this little tool here that we have. It tells you nowhere in the needle set how you're supposed to use this tool. So you insert this into this little hole, and this doesn't actually do anything special by inserting it. What else it is it's a place for you to get leverage. So it's a place for you to hold on to this little key and twist your needle super tight. So I just hold on to this key. It gives you leverage. So you can hold on to that. And I twist my needle really tight so it doesn't come off. Okay. The other nice thing about the Knitter's Pride needles is that if for some reason they should come damaged or something happens by no fault of your own, that Knitter's Pride will replace them for you. Okay. So the trick is to use this little tool to put on your needle tightly so that it doesn't. Because if you just screw this in like this, if you're knitting a lot, this could work itself loose a little bit. And if it works itself loose, you can see how it has this little gap here, then it starts to catch on your yarn and all kinds of things. So, and then if it comes loose, then your stitches will fall off your cable, and that's no good either. So it's important to use this little tool, and most people don't know. So if you, I don't know if I can get that close, you can see there's this teeny tiny little hole right here. This key thing just goes in that hole like that. And then you just use that for leverage. So just by putting this in here, that doesn't do the trick, that doesn't tighten it. Other interchangeable needles, and we don't carry different kind of set, but I do know they have different locking mechanisms. But with all of the Knitter's Pride, it's pretty consistent that you use this little key, you use it for leverage, you can really tighten that. All right. Let's see here. Now, you have all these different cord lengths. You can buy them individual. So I just continue to buy extra cords. The most popular size is 24-inch, because what happens is I start a project, I get really into it, and then something happens, like a new project is released, or I see something new at my knitting guild or at the shop or something, and I have to just immediately start a new project. So these needle sets, you guys, I just learned this. I had no idea what these little tabs were for. These needle sets come with these little tabs that has the size on here. And it has US sizes on one side and the metric size on the other side. So that way, when you decide that you are done knitting your project, because you have to move on to the next great project, but you need this size of needle, then you can untwist your project. You can untwist your needle off. So I just insert that key and use it again for leverage. So I can twist that, untwist my needle. I can say here, this is a size 9 needle. I can put this little tab on here that says size 9, so that when I come back to this later.
Needle you're taking off.
I'm sorry, what was that? Okay. I can put this little tab on here on my work. I can put it right here on my needle, on my cable, and I can then, each needle set comes with these little end closures. And so I just screw these end stoppers on here, and you can screw these stoppers on. Same thing, I use my little key back in here. Well, you would think I could see with all this light shining here, but okay. And I just use that little key and I really tighten that end on just like that. So now my project, I've marked my cable with the size of needle, so that when I put this away and I come back to this, because I think, I'm going to come back to it next week, but about a year later, I find it and I have no idea what I'm doing and what needle size I used. I can just go back in my little tab there will remind me of what needle size was on this project. So these little circular things come with each of the cords, and each cord comes with a tool, and then you get multiple sets in your kit as well if you do a kit. So now this is what happens to me. I'll put this project aside. I will buy a new cord with whatever size I need. Mostly 24-inch cords is the ones I like. But depending on what you're knitting, you might need longer cords. So if you're knitting an Afghan, I would go to more like a 40-inch cord or a 60-inch cord. Depends on how wide you're knitting, you know, if you're doing a little baby Afghan. Now, these little small tips needles in the small tip set they work best with a smaller cord. So like a 16-inch cord or a 20-inch cord. These are really great for hats. So this is the way you can get, you can use a smaller cord, a 16-inch cord with your needle, and you can make hats with them, and you'll have all of your interchangeable needles. Now, when you're knitting something really small that you need a 16 or 20-inch cord, it doesn't always, if you're knitting, you can use, let me say it like this. You can use these small tips with the small cables or the large cables, but if you're knitting something very small, the large tips don't work well on the small cables because they're too long to get this around and make this circle. So you would need the smaller tips on here to make a smaller circle. So if you're just knitting flat, it doesn't matter if you like larger tips, longer tips, or the shorter tips. Now I prefer the longer tips if I'm just knitting flat and I don't necessarily need to be using a small cord because I have more to hang on to. You have more to hang on to in your hand. But I recently just have a new student in my building blocks class. She likes the short tips. Well, she's also a surgeon, so that seems to make a little more sense. She has a little better fine motor skills than I'm sure I do. So that's where we are with that. Oh, I'm doing good on time. So let's see here. One thing I wanted to tell you, the carbon needles are kind of a mix between a metal and a wood, I would say. People really, really like the carbons. I have not used the carbons before, but they say that they are very, have very nice tips, very pointy and easy to use. Okay. Also, the other thing I wanted to show you was this Tunasian crochet hook set. This is also an interchangeable set. So if you know anything about crochet, Tunasian crochet is kind of like knitting where you can make fabric. Like you get all of your stitches on your cord. But my friend Laura introduced me to this set because this works really, really great for knitters who need to pick up stitches. So for example, I told you in this building and color class, we picked up all of these stitches along this edge here and made a border. So it's really great to use this on to pick up stitches if you have a lot of them to do. It works like a charm. So what you do is you use your crochet hook in place of a knitting needle, and it allows you to get in and hook that yarn and pull it through. But the nice thing is it has that crochet hook on there, and I could do a whole demonstration on that. Maybe I should have Laura do a demonstration on that sometime on our next demo day, because she was the one that told me about it. But if you're going to pick up a lot of stitches, this set is fabulous for doing that. And if you're a knitter, you kind of understand what I'm saying about picking up stitches. But see how it has the same interchangeable cords? You can just pop off one of your knitting needles, pop out the correct size. See, it comes in multiple sizes, and they are color coded as well with the same color coding system. So this is a size 8 right here, or would be similar to a size 8. So it has the same color coding system, and then you can pick up your stitches as you go. All right, let me see. Also, while you're knitting with interchangeable needles, a couple reasons why I like them. Let's go back to that gauge swatch for a minute. When you're doing a gauge swatch, you don't really know. I mean, you have the recommended needle size from your designer for the project, but you don't know if that's your actual size that you should be using until you do your gauge swatch. So by having interchangeable needles, then you have all of the needles you need to go up and down in multiple sizes, and you don't have to buy, another needle in case you didn't have that needle and you end up needing to knit with a size 9 versus you had like a 6, 7, and 8 size. So, but if you needed to check your gauge swatch with the size 9, but you didn't really need a size 9 needle after that, then you can use, that's why the interchangeables are really nice. It gives you all the sizes. All right, let's see, what other sets do we have that I wanted to show? I didn't show this one, did I?
Nope, that's Smart Sticks.
This is Smart Sticks. These are really cool because they are marked at 1 inch increments. So the idea is that you can check inches and gauges. Now, in order to check a true gauge, my opinion only, you have to block it. But these Smart Sticks have 1 inch increments on the actual cords as well. Here's one, a yellow one that you can see these little gray marks on here. These are all marked as 1 inch cords or 1 inch increments so that you can kind of see how many inches your knitting is going to take. I would, but it is sometimes you do need to get a quick measurement. And so these cords are really nice. And these are nice. These are a metal needle as well. So if you prefer metal, this is a metal set that is very handy. That's the Smart Sticks. And see how they come with nice little pockets here to keep your stuff in. Let's see. And then this set here is so beautiful. This set does not have different colors, but it's a very, very beautiful Rosewood Set by Knitter's Pride. If I was to buy a new one, I think this would be the one I would buy. Trust me, you can't have too many sets of interchangeable needles. There are reasons to have more than one. I will just tell you that. This set also comes with a shawl pin, and it comes with, in here, multiple sizes, multiple sets of cords. Okay. And then it also has, if you need to make your cord, like you only have a couple of 24-inch cords, but you need to make a longer cord, these things here, you can put multiple cords together. So you can make your cords longer in case you don't have a 60 or don't have access to the shop and you need something right away. You can make your cords longer by this little interchangeable piece right in there. But all of the sets come with multiple cords. And like I said, I've added many more cords because I counted at one time last year, I had 24 projects on needles, which means that they're on some sort of cord probably somewhere. But this is one of my favorite sets. This is an investment in your knitting, but it's so worth the investment to have every needle size that you want. And just to have the nice carrying case and the carrying bags that they come in to keep them all together. So this one is also very nice where it has a place for all of your needle sets as well. We have additional, sometimes these sets come with, like this one in particular comes with size 2.5 to size 10. We do have larger sizes. We have them where you could buy them individually like this. Or we actually, if you just need a large set, this one is a size 13 to 17. So this set here, I want to see if it says what sizes it has. This one starts at a size 4, which is pretty common, and goes to 11. So you can buy a couple sizes smaller. You can go to a 2. Also, I have added to my set by adding the 13 and 15 to mine as well. And this comes with both the 10 and the size 10.5. So it's every needle in that range. It comes with all of them. Any questions, Jenny?
No.
All
The only question, which is actually a great one, hopefully everyone got a chance to read it, is what, if you're using like the 24-inch cord, is that measuring cord or is it measuring?
Oh, I
tip
meant to say
tip
that. That is measuring not the cord, but tip to tip. So
on the regular size needles.
yeah, on the regular size. So for example, if this is a 32-inch cord, it's going to measure 32 inches with the needles on it. So from tip to tip. So this cord is going to be shorter than 32 inches. So if you are going to go measure this cord and figure out what size it is, you would have to add your needles on to get the actual size. And that's why too, like having the colored cords are really nice, because then you can just keep track of, you know, let's see, I don't even know what color the 24-inch cord, because of course they're all used. I think it might be,
It's yellow. Isn't it yellow?
I think it's green,
It's
because
yellow
the
green?
16 is yellow. Of course I've used all my
It's
24-inch
the
cords.
glow in the dark yellow green.
Yeah, so also like having the colored codes helps you remember what length of cord it is as well. But that is a really good question.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are all cords and all tips interchangeable between brands?
Not between brands always. There are some exceptions with that.
So
For
they stay the
example,
same brand.
if you've heard of Knit Picks needles, Knitter's Pride is interchangeable with Knit Picks.
Sometimes.
Every time but most of the time it's good to check it. But for example, Knitter's Pride would not be interchangeable with Addie's Clicks. So they would not be interchangeable with those cords. Those will be different cord and a different connecting mechanism. But Knitter's Pride, it doesn't matter if you're going carbon or wood or the Smart Sticks, those are all interchangeable. Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
So do you want to change my view back, and then I will introduce our next demonstration? See
Hey,
how they
Paula,
do.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Just two figs. I don't know what happened to my video,
Oh,
but anyway,
okay.
it doesn't matter because I didn't do my hair or face. So
well, good. Then you don't need video, right?
no. Hey, so have you ever tried linking the two cords together? And I just wondered how stable it is, because I have a set and they allow me to attach the cords together, but I just wasn't sure I trusted it. Does that make sense? Like if you wanted a longer cord?
Yes, some of those kits had those connector things. I think as long as you use the tightening tool and tighten it very tight, I think you'll be okay. I just have longer cords, so I've never connected my cords like that. So I haven't actually used them, but I don't have trouble with my needles coming off as long as I tighten them. Well, I mean, only if I've knitted for a very long time with the same set of needles and not checked it. And by a very long time, I'm talking like multiple projects, because sometimes I don't take them apart.
Everybody's gonna start wanting to buy those, so I'm gonna get on there and get them.
Okay.
So mine
I should
didn't
be
come with
way up there in points.
mine didn't come with a tightening tool, so that's why I was a
You're
little
knitting-
You have the
worried.
advantage
'cause
of being there, you know, so, but they
Is
are
it-
just gorgeous.
Sue, is it Knitter's Pride that you got that didn't come with
No.
a tightening tool?
It's a kit I bought a long time ago, and I couldn't even tell you the name
Okay.
of it.
Oh, I think someone doesn't realize they're unmuted. Let's see here.
Anyway,
I wouldn't be able to tell without seeing how it connects.
mhm.
Um,
they just screw in, and I've had the needles come off before, so
oh,
they unscrew pretty easily, and that's why I was wondering. I didn't want to risk it on my swirl.
right.
Yeah, so I just went ahead and bought the needle size I needed, but I was just curious.
I think that, you know, it's like tools they progress as, you know, we have better technology and things like that. So same thing with tools, your tools will progress as you, you know, so newer ones are going to have better connecting mechanisms, Sue.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know how old they are, or what brand they are, but you know, the newer tools are going to have better connectors. So
Okay.
if you've had your interchangeable set for a long time, I can tell you, if these came off when I was knitting, I would not continue to knit with them. And I know that's all happened to people. It always happens, right? Of course I've not, it's not like I've never had it happen, but it doesn't happen frequently when I tighten my needles on. Like I said, I've knit 3 Afghans with 2 different ends, and you know, it had come off during that time, but in the time I knit 2 Afghans, I never checked to see if my needles were still tight. So it's good to check them every now and then and make sure they don't loosen up. But I know that people are afraid to use interchangeables because they've had them come off before or anything like that. So I do understand how people are nervous about that, but
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
it gives you good practice to practice your fixing skills if they
Yeah.
fall off.
No, actually,
Yes.
I think it's very traumatic.
As long as you tighten it, it doesn't come loose at all.
I use it all
Okay.
the time too.
Okay, Hanaya and Jenny say they use the connector all the time and it doesn't come loose as long as you tighten it properly. So thank you, girls. I just get longer. I just buy more cords. So, all right, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. Lori is our team member from the shop, and she's actually going to demonstrate a knitted pot holder. So we will be back at 1:45 with Lori. And if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. We'll kind of monitor them there and get back with you in just a few minutes. Thank you everyone for joining us for demo day. We have a really fun time preparing for this and getting ready for this. So thank you.